All right, this is a recording for lessons from 4.3. And the assignment is going to end up being on page 286. So I'm going to go through quite a few of these odds, you guys, and then you'll be able to do these evens. And so I'm on page 286 and I'm looking at question number 9. The picture looks like this. All right, find the exact value of all 6 trig functions. All right, so if you know two sides of a right triangle, you guys, you use the Pythagorean theorem to find the third side. Well, 64 and 225 adds up to 289, and the square root of that is 17. So now you can find all 6 trig functions. So cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. Sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Tangent theta is opposite over adjacent. The reciprocal functions, the reciprocal of cosine secant, 17 over 15. Cosecant, 17 over 8. Cotangent theta is 15 over 8. So when you know two sides, you find the third side using the Pythagorean theorem, and then you go through your SOHCAHTOA stuff. All right, the next problem is number 17. In question 17, it tells you that the sine of theta is equal to 1/5, and the directions want you to find the third side and then find the other 5 trig functions. Well, I already do know cosecant is going to be 5. Now, to me, whenever you're given a trig function, draw a picture, even if it's not drawn to scale. Here's theta. Okay, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so it's going to look like that. Sine theta equals 1/5. It agrees with the picture. 25 subtract 1 is 24, so this is going to be root 24, which I'm going to write as 2 root 6. Largest perfect square factor is 2. All right, so now cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent theta is equal to 1 opposite over 2 root 6. Now I multiply top and bottom by root 6, and this turns out to be root 6 over 12. Root 6 times root 6 is 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, the reciprocal of cosine is secant. So secant theta is going to be 5 over 2 root 6. And so that's going to be 5 root 6 over 12 when you simplify it, multiplying by root 6 top and bottom. Then the cotangent of theta is going to be 2 root 6 over 1. So there's your 6 answers for 17. Okay, when you get to 23, and problems like this, they have 3 columns. It says theta in degrees, theta in radians, and then it says function value. All right, so for 23, they give you the angle is pi over 3, and they want you to find the secant. Well, on your unit circle, at pi over 3, that ordered pair is 1/2 comma root 3 over 2. So right there, that's your cosine. So the secant of that is going to be the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2. Now, isn't pi over 3 the same as 60 degrees? So that's how you should do number 23. Next one I've chosen is 37. Now on 37, it wants you to do the cotangent of 11 degrees 15 minutes. And then it wants you to find the tangent of 11 degrees 15 minutes. All right, I'm going to convert 15 minutes to degrees decimal. So I divide and I get 0.25. So I want to find the cotangent of 11.25 degrees and the tangent of 11.25 degrees. I'm actually going to start with B. And if I look on the calculator and I make sure that I'm in degree mode, So make sure you're in degree mode on the calculator. And if you hit, and you do tangent of 11.25 and hit enter, you get 0.1989. Now the cotangent button isn't there, but these two are reciprocals of each other. So if I hit the x to the -1 button with this in as my answer, I get the answer of 5.0273. Now I also could do this. I could start by taking 1 divided by the tangent. So 1 divided by tan, 11.25 on the calculator, and you get that same 5.0273. Okay, so hopefully that will help you do that problem. Okay, continuing on, number 45. Picture that I can draw from 45. It says cotangent alpha equals 5. So again, I'm drawing a picture. I'm putting alpha here. Now cotangent is adjacent over opposite. So if I did tangent now of alpha, that would be 1/5. Okay, now for 45, that's part A. Part B, they want to know the cosecant of alpha. Well, again, 1 squared plus 5 squared equals x squared, that missing hypotenuse. So this turns out to be the square root of 26. So the cosecant is going to be root 26 over the opposite, which is 1. Okay? For part C, this is a little bit tricky. The cotangent of 90 minus theta. Or alpha, excuse me. If this is alpha, this angle up here, guys, is 90 minus alpha. So find the cotangent of that angle. Okay? Well, the cotangent of that angle is adjacent 1 over opposite 5. Notice that the tangent of alpha and the cotangent of its complement are the same answer. And then for 45D, they want to know the cosine of alpha. Cosine is 5 over root 26, which is 5 root 26 over 26. So again, if you know two sides, draw the picture. This is the angle whose cotangent is 5 over 1. The tangent would be 1/5. Find the third side and go from there. Okay, 55 is kind of a different problem because it's kind of like a little proof. You have sine of theta over the cosine of theta plus the cosine of theta over the sine of theta, and you're supposed to get cosecant theta times secant theta. All right, rational expression right here. So I need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom here by sine and top and bottom here by cosine. Then my common denominator will be sine times cosine. Now look at what I get here. Sine times sine is sine squared. Cosine times cosine is cosine squared. Now how do I get this for an answer? Well, sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. Now where does that come from? Well, if you think about the unit circle, this x value is the cosine and this is the sine, and that radius is 1. So cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1 is an identity. So now I have 1 over sine theta cosine theta. Let me erase that. Now isn't 1 over sine cosecant and 1 over cosine secant? So there I have it. So when I get sine on the bottom, it's cosecant on the top. Cosine on the bottom is secant on the top. Okay, then a couple word problems and we'll be done. Bottom of page 287, it talks about the Empire State Building. So you have a picture like this, and this is an 82-degree angle of elevation. And it says that you are 45 meters away from the Empire State Building, so this is the Empire State Building. And this is floor 86. Now, it says above floor 86, it tells you that this distance to the top is 123 meters. So we're going to have to add that at the end. Now, I can solve this for x. So if I take the tangent of 82, now why tangent? Because it's opposite over hypotenuse equals x over 45. Now again, making sure you're in degree mode, this times this equals this. So x is equal to 45 times the tangent of 82. And so when I do that, I get x is equal to 320.2 meters. Now I add the 123 and I get 443.2 meters for the height of the Empire State Building. Pretty tall. That's in meters, which is more than 450 yards. Okay? Now it also asks you how far away is your friend if they're this distance. So for this problem, oh, I'm sorry, your friend is up on the 86th floor. So you need to find this distance right here. This is y. So cosine 82 degrees equals 45 over y. So 45 divided by the cosine of 82 is going to be y, and that turns out to be 323.3 meters. So those are your two answers right there for number 67. And let's do last problem, number 69. And this is dealing with mountain. And this is up here 1,500 feet. And it wants to know the angle of elevation, which would be this angle looking up. Now, this angle down here, this would be the angle of depression. And this is the angle of elevation, and they're equal. Now, it says that this distance right here is 3,000 feet. The distance from the top of the mountain to the base is 3,000 feet. What's the angle? So if I do opposite over hypotenuse, I write sine of x degrees equals 1,500 over 3,000. All right, save the best for class. Where does sine equal a half? All of you guys should know that that's 30 degrees without even looking it up on the calculator. So that should be that one. Okay? Now hopefully this recording will give you enough stuff. And now on the next page, your assignment for lesson 4.3, starting on this page 286. Okay, I want you to do problem 12, 16, 28, 40, 48, 58, 66, 72, 84, and 94. So those 10 problems. Okay, 10 questions. Now you guys, show work. Draw pictures. And hopefully this will go pretty smooth for you. Okay, that should be good enough. I'm going to stop the recording and you guys should be able to go to work on this. Thank you.